Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Can you hear me?
I do hear you.
I'm in a microphone again. So you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Sometimes I takes me a while to figure stuff out.
You got it. You nailed it.
I'm a technology whiz.
Are you?
No.
It's going to be, is it like, can you tell that Jake already is going to like surpass you at like age 8?
Yes, definitely.
He's going to be like, Dad, look what I coded. I just used Java and, made this. And you'd be like, what?
It's pretty impressive. He can it's that confidence thing too. Like he's just confident messing around with something. And someone like me who I'm a young guy, I should be like that. But I'm kind of boomerish when it comes to technology for the most part, other than things like phones, like PlayStations, that kind of thing. Like I can figure out because I've been doing that since I was really young. But like computers and shit, I'm so not confident. I'm like, what do I do? Am I going to mess it up? And I was like, no, boomer. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah.
I lack the confidence. It sounds like I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna mess something up. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do?
Your 6-year-old's beating you.
Yeah, he's got none of that. None of that at all. He just goes in there. He's like, let me just mess with some shit and then I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Be like, look at this hilarious video I found, Dad.
But he does find some funny, he can find some funny videos. Do you remember that one I sent you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That you didn't think it was that funny? God, dude, that cracked me up.
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
That was definitely weird. It was Thomas the Train.
Yeah.
In a Minecraft world.
Uh-huh.
Running you down, about to gun you. And then I remember it was like, no, and then it was the cat that was driving.
Yeah,
Words can't describe how funny it was.
Yeah.
To me,
anyways. Oh, man.
And it was, what's funny is that like he didn't even necessarily find that funny. He was just watching that kind of shit, and then like I happened to see that part, and I'm like, what is
like,
this?
What is going on?
And then I rewound it, and I was laughing hard. So then he thought it was funny that I thought it was funny, and then he was like, again. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. And it's crazy how they can figure out the algorithm. I think you and I talked about it before. Because like that video was just shit like that. Random shit, made no sense. I'm pretty sure the title was like letters and numbers, like not even like an actual word. And it was like 1.2 million views uploaded 7 hours ago. I'm like, what? What? How are people clicking this shit?
Yeah. It's above me, man.
Nothing's above you, sir.
Yeah.
You need
Is that a Christmas tree behind you? Yeah, no.
There is a Christmas tree behind me. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have your Christmas
Is that a real tree or a fake one?
No, dude, I'm not a psychopath. I have a fake tree.
Yeah. Dude, that's gonna die. I feel like that's if you would have said fake tree 20 years ago, people would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we've come a long way. Real trees are too. I mean, disclaimer: I've never had a real tree. Seems like a lot, and it seems totally unnecessary.
Yeah, the only like benefit is it smells good, I guess. But like the needles fucking fall. You gotta water it. Dies.
Just fucking water it. It's got an ugly base stand. When I was at my buddy 250's house during the Christmas time, and he had just gotten a tree, and I guess I'd never seen a real tree that wasn't like fully formed, if you will, like with the skirt underneath it and everything like that. And like they had just put theirs up, and it's got like Those real trees have like this weird fucking kickstand thing on the bottom, and like a hole where you're supposed to water it. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
what's wrong with your tree? Is it like crippled? Like, what the fuck is it? What's it wearing? It's like, oh yeah, the skirt's just not on yet. Look, that's where you water it. That's what keeps it standing. I'm like, it just looked weird. I didn't like it.
Your mom always had a fake tree?
I think so.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever been around a real tree. I mean, I've been around trees, but I don't know if I've ever been around a real Christmas tree.
never been around tree.
Um, I don't think so. Does anyone in your family rock the real tree?
I mean, growing up every year,
Really?
my whole life. Yeah.
No, dude. Speaking of trees, though, get that discount. Double check. This tree, it's a white tree, which I'm a fan of. Looks like it's snowy. Well, I'm a fan of it. This tree was $5 at Walmart in January when they're just
Wow.
trying to get rid of shit.
Yeah.
Right. I sent you a photo last night of myself in some dope Christmas pajamas. Right. See that photo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really look at your pajamas. I thought you wanted me to focus on your mustache.
Well, I mean, whatever your eyes float to,
Yeah.
Most people probably say the sick stash.
It's what catches their eye.
Well, in that particular case, it could have been the pajamas because those are $20 Christmas pajamas at Walmart, but they're 99% off because it's fucking end of January. So they're $1.10 for the set.
Wow.
So how you gonna not get those? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It doesn't need to be Christmas to wear these.
I wore them last night. I wore them last night, not just for the photo op, but in actuality, I was like, give me them bitches. Got a pair for me, a pair for my wife. Spent $2.20 on them.
Wow.
Not mad at that.
I like how you like a white Christmas tree, but you're in a place that doesn't snow.
I don't. Snow's pretty to look at, but snow is not good for function. I do not
It's
like
freezing
snow.
here.
Is it?
Not fun cold. Where you walk out and you're concerned.
Well, that's the I don't know what do you call it? See, like Ohio's technically the Midwest. What do you call Pennsylvania?
Northeast.
The Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's the Northeast for
We
you.
get clustered in the Northeast. Yeah.
Okay. The weather is
Philly,
extremely
Boston,
similar.
New York.
Yeah, you guys are close to those places, I guess. Close to Jersey. Yeah, Ohio. The weather in Ohio is just extremely similar to the weather in Pennsylvania, so I wasn't really sure. It's yeah, man. It was supposed to get freezing here, and it was like raining, and people were worried that the roads were going to ice, and it was a whole to do, man. It was all anyone talked about. Because well,
They're like, what are we gonna do?
We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
It's different here, I guess, because it's so rare. And I'm just repeating information. I haven't been here for a full year yet, but I have been told this from locals that because of the weather is generally just so good, and like it snows once every fucking 10 years or something, that we just don't have equipment for it. Like, why would we have that sitting around? Like it'd be like kind of silly to have it around and go bad or mean to maintain.
Buy ice every year or buy like salt every year that you don't use.
Yeah, and maintain a plow truck or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so we still have it. So like when it snows, like whatever hits the ground stays there until it's gone. Like it's not like there's a truck plowing it. So I guess they do get pretty concerned here, even if it's going to freeze over because they don't salt the roads or anything like that. It didn't end up happening, but it was a whole thing, dude. It was all anyone was talking about. Fucking, Friday they brought in. Friday I was told to call my boss at like 8 in the morning and see if they even needed me to come in because everyone's freaking out about the cold. So I call him. He was like, "Yeah, come in." So I go in, and there's me and two other drivers there, and then they're just like doing shit for like next door neighbors. I don't want to get in the whole thing. It's a whole thing, but There's a place right next door that is also owned by our company that they pour concrete every day.
Okay.
Like no matter what, like that's just what they do. Like they don't buy it. Like you go over there and you pour it for them. They were the other two guys were doing that, and then I got sent to like our actual job, and I'm like, damn, that's probably the only thing they brought us in for, right? One job, then to help out with those guys, and then I got back and I did another job, and I think one other guy did that. So it was like 3 jobs that we did, and everyone else was just home. We didn't work Saturday, which is a blessing, but also rare. Didn't even get that. Didn't even get bad, dude. It was like sprinkling, and it
It
was
was all
sprinkling.
fake.
It was all fake news, man. It was
Yeah.
sprinkling. It was a little chilly out, and they're like, the weather forecast says ice. We're fucked. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know it's gonna be that bad.
Weatherman's a liar.
And then just not to brag, bro, but guys like me and you, like we've driven in ice and snow before. Like, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can drive in it. It's crazy. You gotta have a decent vehicle. I have an all-wheel drive car. That's a monster in the snow. It's not a monster. It's a little tiny car, but you gotta slow down and you gotta drive a little smarter. People, for some reason, haven't figured that out yet. In some places. In the Northeast, bro.
Yeah.
We're driving that shit.
Yeah.
What else?
You'd say your Cincinnati Bengals that
Yeah,
you're a diehard fan of.
I
You
watched
watched it.
them go into whatever they won the division. Is that what it is?
No, they're going to the AFC Championship.
Isn't that how it works? You win the division.
They haven't
Right.
won the AFC yet, but they're in the championship now to go to the Super Bowl. They're one
Right.
game away from the Super Bowl.
I know that. I do know that. I'm saying, what was last night's game considered? I thought it was called
the
divisional
secondary
playoffs.
round of playoffs
That was
because they were
called
in the wild card and then they won the next one, so now they're in the AFC Championship.
Okay, whatever it's called. Yeah, I watched that. I only watched it because I was at a restaurant and that was on the TV.
Was it a bar
It was a bar
to other people?
It was a bar.
Yeah.
It was a bar to other people. My wife had a couple beers, and then I had a Pepsi with ice. I had a whiskey and Coke. Hold the whiskey.
Yeah.
That's a good AA joke, I bet.
You like that joke? You like laying that on people?
I feel like that's probably, as soon as I said it, I was like, it's probably good. Like it's probably like an AA joke. Like I'll have a water with hops and barley or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're asking for a beer, not water. You're funny. I had a fucking really good screwdriver last night. Orange juice and vodka. Hold the fucking vodka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could go all day.
I can go all day. I was getting wild last night. Yeah, I did, and I did have a whiskey and Coke. Hold the whiskey. So, what else is going on in Alex's life other than you got to work today?
Yeah, that sucks. Working Sundays again.
You're a pharmacist, bro. You've been dreaming about this day for a long time.
Really? Not working Sunday.
Not working Sunday.
No.
Would you rather work Sunday or Saturday?
I'd rather work Saturday.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah, but isn't that like sports and shit are on then though? I guess sports are on Sunday too.
Yeah.
Can't win. Why do we even work? Why do we work?
I know.
Why don't we just get paid what we get paid and we just don't go to work?
That'd be pretty cool. I guess people really need service and stuff.
Do they?
Go get it yourself.
Okay, figure it out.
Yeah.
Dude, we're so weird. I'll tell you what. On Christmas Day, we're like everything's closed, like even Walmart and shit.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day,
people still get upset about it.
I realized how nice it is to know stuff's open. I don't even think I needed anything, but I remember like something might come up. I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow or it's closed.
Yeah.
Except the movie theater, by the way. Movie theater always open. Went to the movies on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, I think. But And then the next day you're like, it's like exciting to like roll up at your local Walmart. You're like, we're open, baby.
Yeah,
It's weird. It doesn't make much
that
sense.
is weird. I know people like were complaining that we were closed on Christmas, and I was like,
CVS?
it's Christmas. Yeah, it's like it's the one like holiday that okay
Wal-
everyone's closed.
My Walgreens was open. They were flexing, dude.
Yeah, well, my CVS was closed, but
But some
others
of them
were
were open.
open. Yeah,
Yeah, we drove by Walgreens. And then I remember it was like, they're open. And then I was like, what do we really need? Like,
you know
what?
what? You know what's dick though for CVS. CVS opens their front stores, but not the pharmacy. So like you can go in there and buy like bullshit,
See,
but you can't get your prescription.
see, that's because you guys are like above everybody.
Yeah,
It's true. Maybe you won't say
yeah.
it. Maybe you will. I don't know. But it's like,
What
hey
do you
man,
mean?
like you're here for some like you go get your fucking milk and eggs, bro. But like you're not getting your fucking Adderall or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can
you're
wait
gonna
till
have to wait,
tomorrow. You
bitch.
fuck. I'm enjoying my holiday, my leisure time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know, man. I feel like that's most. You gotta tread carefully here. I feel like most real jobs, like good jobs, it's like weekends or you're just not working. Is that safe to assume? Like, I feel like,
You have an
but
office job.
like most career-based jobs, I feel like,
Yeah, if you're not in the service industry.
yeah, that's where it gets tricky
Yeah.
because like in Washington, even I didn't work Saturday. Not working Saturday is such a fucking bummer, dude. Such a bummer.
See, but you're a service. You're serving companies
Yeah, but
that need you
typically
to
it's
go do
like
shit on Saturday.
apparently
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be that way. Clearly, because in Washington we didn't work Saturdays.
yeah.
We don't work every Saturday here either, but it's like it's just like one of those things. It's like it's just one of those things that it's a Monday through Friday thing, man. Generally, it's like yeah, you gotta schedule it out ahead of time. You gotta fucking plan out how you're gonna when you're gonna get it brought to you Monday through Friday. For weekends, you're fucked. You can wait.
Apparently not in South Carolina.
And the South Carolina is an interesting place, dude. It is an interesting place.
Do you ever work on Sundays?
No, no, no.
Why not?
I don't know. It's the Lord's Day, bro.
Oh,
We actually worked on Sunday one day. I didn't do it because I worked on Saturday, but the people that didn't work on Saturday worked on Sunday one time because it was the Lord's Day. Can you figure out what I'm referring to?
did the church need emergency concrete? I don't know.
No, that'd be for something like that, you'd pour any day but Sunday. That's what people were there.
We got a service now. We need concrete.
You could actually, we're not going to do this all day, but I feel like you could probably figure this out.
Yeah, let's just speed it up.
Let's get to it. No, Chick-fil-A needed a pour.
Oh, damn.
And there's no one there. There's no one in the drive-through. Like you just get right in, lay down that mud, and get on get. So Sunday was like the only day. It was like the perfect day. Because we pour at places. I poured at fucking Bojangles on Friday. It was annoying. By the way, big Bojangles fan. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you fuck with Bojangles, but
I fuck with Bojangles.
Bojangles is pretty good.
It used to be when I was in Virginia, they were everywhere.
Yeah. I poured there and it's just annoying, man. The fucking cars and shit in the way. They'll honk at you if you're in the way. You're like, I'm clearly fucking doing something here, dude.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're right. You're fucking two-piece. That's what they're worried about.
Yeah, it's actually that's I mean, that's like my job sometimes in a hole when people like honk at you, get out of the way. You're like, do you see what I'm doing? Like it has to go here.
I have to be here.
And I have to be here. Just wait
you
a
don't
minute.
have to be here.
You can wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like I'm pouring something out. It's attached to a straw essentially, and it's going here. What do you want me to do? Not put it here?
Yeah.
Sorry, this guy had to get behind me. We'll do this later. Like
yeah. Sorry. Oh, dude. Oh, Jimmy's here. Oops.
I work in the we are priority business, which is cool at times. Other times it can be annoying, but usually it's just a flex. Usually it's like, well, you're gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait. You're gonna wait. Because it's a perishable load, right? Like concrete doesn't stay concrete forever. Ice cream melts and concrete gets hard. That's just how it works. And then like when we were going to the shipyard in Washington, there's like always a line of trucks that need inspected, and concrete trucks go right in the front. They just go around everybody. Or they'll open up a separate gate just for you. They're like, nope, everyone fucking hold your goddamn horses. Concrete's coming through. Sorry, buddy. And then so not all trucks know that. It's not like they're briefed on the protocol. And then when you're going around them, some of them throw a fit. And they're like, what are you doing, bro? And they're honking at you. And you're like, you'll see when we get
Well,
up
guess
here.
what? The guys up front are gonna say, "Hell, howdy doody."
Yeah, they're gonna, like when you're trying to merge over and someone like speeds up and try to get in front of you. It's like one of those kind of things. And then the guard comes out and they put the hand up at the other guy and they point at you and they're like, you come through. Or then you give them a little wink. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I
That's right,
fucking knew I
bitch.
was getting up in front of
Yeah.
you fuck. Anything else new besides fights?
No.
Let's do it.
All right.
I came prepared. 2 cups of coffee.
Wow.
I knew if I got up to get a cup of coffee, you'd be like, this fucking dork. Wasting my goddamn time. So I got 2 cups of coffee and I got the car pulled up.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you see that chick that jumped in Joe Rogan's arms?
No, I did not.
I didn't see the fight. I saw the finish. It was a really good armbar. She seems
It was
like
an early prelim.
I think it might have been the first fight of the night. Well, yeah, I got the card pulled up. I just said so. Hang on a second. No, it wasn't the first fight. Oh, who won by armbar? No, the second fight. It was the fucking Metropolis chick. Whatever you say that name. Vanessa Demopoulos.
Yeah.
That chick. She won by a first round armbar. Really nice armbar from the guard. But then she like jumped in Joe Rogan's arms, and I didn't hear the post fight interview, but I seen all the quotes, and I guess it was something to behold, Alex.
It was weird.
Like something along the lines, like she probably was, something along the lines of, I was like 1 week out of, you know what? I'll just pull it up because we're good journalists here. I'll find it. Something along the lines of like, I was a stripper, and like half the moves I do in here are just stripper moves on a pole, something like that.
Yeah, there's like pictures of her journey from the pole to the cage.
Journey from the pole to the cage. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll find it. I think MMA Island. Shout out MMA Island. I think they posted a quote. Let me find it. Oh, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Quote was, I walked away from being a stripper to continue this camp. A lot of my jiu-jitsu actually comes from my experience as a pole dancer. And then it says Vanessa Demopoulos, however you say that, walked away from exotic entertainment 6 to 8 weeks ago to transition into MMA full-time.
Well, good for her.
Good for her. Good for her.
But why did she jump into Joe Rogan's arms?
I don't know, man. Don't know. I will say good for her because it's rare that you see things you've never seen before. I don't think I've ever seen that before in a post-fight interview.
No.
Like that's one of the things. It's like you can't bring it up, and you're like, no, maybe you know. It's like that was like the one time. Remember when the person jumped in Joe Rogan's arms? They're like, dude, come on, I watch fights every week. Like be more specific. It's like
I bet her Instagram had quite the jump.
Well, I can say she gained at least one more follower. If you know what I'm saying.
I wonder how Joe Rogan's wife felt about the little jump.
I would assume she probably doesn't care.
I would assume so too.
I'd assume she's like, a cool guy.
Kind of fun. Yeah, like you're Joe Rogan. So
speaking of cool guys,
if you wanted to, you kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of, well, I mean, that one time Brendan Schaub alluded that Joe Rogan cheated on his wife. That went over well. Do you remember that?
No.
That went over well. There was quite the backlash for that. I don't know how you don't remember that. He was talking. He was on King of the Sting with Theo Vaughn, right? I'm sure you're familiar with the podcast, right?
I am.
It was on King of Sting. They're talking about some bald guy and like getting laid, and he was like, "I know plenty of." Shab was like, "I know plenty of bald dudes that lay down dick." He was like, "Dana White, Joe Rogan," and then he was like, yeah, I guess that's it." And he like backpedaled hard, and then everyone's like, "Joe Rogan lays dick. He's married."
Yeah, and his wife.
Yeah, well, he he actually came out and addressed it. I think he was like, "Look, we're in the middle of a comedy show. Like, just say what comes to mind. I was not saying that Joe Rogan's out, like piping down chicks." I mean, I feel like when you're that big, you couldn't, right?
Yeah.
It would people would
Get
find
out.
out instantly, right?
Yeah.
But
All right. Did you watch any other of the prelims?
let me pull them up because I think I did. Well, no, I didn't. I turned it on during the Victor Henry fight. That's when I turned it on. I was at dinner. They were playing football.
That's right.
I got home. Yeah, that was the fight that was on when I got home, I think. Was that one, Victor Henry. Did you watch any of them? Anything worth mentioning?
No.
Okay.
No. I didn't really know anyone either. There weren't.
Yeah, there wasn't. Sometimes they'll do some big names on the. Let's see, Kay Hansen lost again. The fucking bitch. How about I just stand by for you?
Okay.
We had some beef with Kay Hansen, dude. You
Yeah.
can't tell. I don't remember who she beat, but I remember I wasn't happy about it. And then I was like, well, she must be really good. And then she comes out here and loses 2 in a row, I think. So fuck her.
Yeah.
You know what else it was? I asked her to be on the podcast. She ghosted me. I think that's what it was.
That's why you hate her. Okay.
Yeah. I think that might have something to do with it. No, I remember what it was. So it was that, right? It was like it was a whole series. It was a whole series of things. What's the fancy word I'm looking for? A whole debacle, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the word? Or did I say it wrong?
Debacle.
Debacle. Whatever. Smart people words. It was a whole thing because I had her. I didn't know who she was, and she was fighting someone
rigmarole.
Okay. She was fighting someone I was familiar with. I'm like, I either bet on her or I wanted her to win or whatever. Kay Hansen went out there, did very well. I'm like, damn, who's this Kay Hansen chick? I go to her page. She has under 10,000 followers, right? She's like 6,000 followers. And I'm like, okay, I'll give her a follow. She'll be excited about it. I'll send her a DM. I'm like, wow, very impressed with your performance. I wasn't familiar with your work until now. Like, I'd love to talk to you for a few minutes for the pod. Never heard anything back. So fuck her,
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a 7,000 follower thing, dude. Yeah. Generally, in my experience.
So you were insulted.
I was insulted for sure. Okay. I was very insulted. I mean, dude, I had Arnold on the podcast. You guys mocked me when I started to get him on.
Yeah, did.
You think I forget that? You guys literally mocked me. Yeah, bro, I'm sure he'll jump right on it. You fucking fucks.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys talk, right, Gage?
I was like, yeah, we DM. Okay, man. Sure. Yeah, so then Kay Hansen was 6,000 followers. I'm like, of course she'll jump on. She'll be excited to talk to anyone. I was thinking.
I'm the driver, baby.
I'm the driver. I'm sure she's not getting fucking pegged for multiple interview contests, or interview off invites, whatever. And then she's just like, nope. Or didn't bother to say no. I would have preferred a no. Mm-hmm. Rather than I must not have seen it. It must have gotten my other folder. Bitch, you got 6,000 fucking followers. Your other folder ain't that jacked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have another folder, Alex. I get those fucking stupid little message requests, and it's like, we're willing to sponsor you with this key, and then it's like all, you know what I mean? It's all a bunch of, it's like scams and whatever. But when you got 6,000 followers, you don't have so many of those. You can't read them.
Yeah.
So Kay Hansen, fuck
She
you.
lost.
Glad you lost.
No,
Can we move
so
on now before I get angry?
the first fight was Micah Morales versus Trevin Giles, which I was surprised about.
I was too.
I bet Trevin Giles by knockout.
Damn.
But yeah, didn't happen.
How about the fact that he probably could have knocked him out in the first 10 seconds and decided not to?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, and then he
rocks him and then clinches him.
Puts him in the cage. Yeah, I was like, what are you
doing, dude? He was hurt for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He got cracked.
Yeah. And then, fast forward 4 minutes.
And then he's wrestling fucking Mike Beltran.
Yeah.
Which is always my favorite thing when that happens. He was doing it out of anger, which is even weirder. Like, it's even weirder if you know what you're doing and you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Mike Beltran was not having that at all. For one, Mike Beltran's huge and is definitely a trained man. But for two, he didn't look like a guy who plays games.
Yeah. Would that be the type of ref you would be?
No. I'd be a fucking Mario Yamasaki and let people die because I'd be afraid I'd get yelled at stopping fights too soon. I'm glad you brought that up because we talked about being a ref and I need to look into it, man.
Yeah.
I need to look into it.
So Micah Morales now 13-0.
Yeah, impressive.
It was an impressive knockout.
It was. I gotta be honest, I was pretty unfamiliar with his work prior.
Is his UFC debut?
That's probably why. So I didn't even know that.
Yeah. He's 22 years old.
Young man.
Yeah.
But he's definitely good. And they were saying like he's not even a striker, and he looked pretty good, other than Trevin Giles cracking him that one time.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good. I don't know why Giles took him down. That was silly. Utter silliness, Alex.
I guess he regrets that.
I'm sure he does. Yeah. How about Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Cody Stamen?
Yeah, he's good.
He's good, man. No relation to Khabib.
Really?
That's what they said.
That's just a Smith here.
That's what I said. I said Jones, but I was also talking to a guy last name Jones. I was making a joke, and it ended up being right. I was like, "What if they're not even related?" That was my joke because it's such a weird last name. And they were like,
"Yeah."
I think John Anik said it last night on the broadcast. It's like Saeed Nurmagomedov, no relation to Khabib. It's like, what? How many of those are floating around Dagestan?
Yeah, that's crazy.
How about his skill level though? Fucking insane.
Yeah, it was 47 seconds.
It was crazy. His strike, and I think he's that. I was going to say he was a striker, but I think he's probably just super well rounded.
Yeah.
His strikes were so fast. It was like Sean O'Malley out there. He looked so fast. And then as soon as
Stanman's not a scrub.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I didn't really know who was going to win that fight. I picked Saeed because I thought he was Khabib's cousin. And then instantly when I assumed. How many Nurmagomedovs have you heard of? Not very many. And then as soon as I found out he wasn't, I'm like, oh man, Stamen might just fucking not knock him out, but you might expose him. Like maybe his name got him this far. You know? No, definitely not the case. Definitely really good.
Yeah.
That choke was gnarly, dude. That was the Arnold Allen choke. I don't know if you recognized it. Arnold Allen had a name for it. Like he called it the front naked choke. Well, it's like a guillotine, but it's not a guillotine. Because he locks the figure 4 around the back of your neck. You know, guillotines aren't finished that way. It's like a whole different thing. I don't know what you call it. You know, it's like a Darce without an arm in, or it's like a rear naked choke from the front. It's like that's not a guillotine grip at all. But he just wrapped the head deep, and then that was weird. But obviously, fucking tighter than hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, the whole 46 seconds before that, he looked like a fucking monster about to knock him out.
Yeah.
Spinning elbows, spinning fists and shit. Fast. Impressive. So we
Yeah.
had 2 first-round finishes. I'm like, oh, this card's going to be over before dinner, you know?
Yeah.
And then what was the next fight?
Pereira.
Michel Pereira.
I was impressed with the other guy though too.
Me too.
Surprised
100%.
me.
Very much so. He seemed to put some mustard on those punches.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised at his power.
Yeah, first round I was like, oh shit, okay.
Well, we had Pereira in our bet, and I thought we were fucked after the first round.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, every time, what's this fella's name? Pedro Figueiredo? I don't know. Let's call him Pedro. Every time Pedro touched him, it looked like Pereira almost went down.
His name's Andre. Way off. But
Am I reading the wrong thing?
yeah.
Where did I read fucking Pedro?
I have no idea where Pedro's coming
There's no
from, dude.
Pedro on the card.
Yeah. That's why I was like, oh,
Well, thank
what?
you for correcting me. We'll just call him Pedro. Like, is this a racist
Like,
thing?
why? I was like, why?
Why that, man? This is gonna fuck me up. How did I?
Okay.
There's no Pedro even on my screen. Like, let's just call him Pedro.
Yeah, I don't know what. I thought you were talking about Pereira, and I was like,
No.
you could. I felt like you knew how to say that name, but I'm guessing Pedro.
But I try to read the last name. I'm like, Fialo? No, I'll just call him Pedro. I don't know where I got Pedro from. Thank you for correcting me. That's funny.
Anyways,
Andre
had some mustard.
Yeah, I was saying he's got the mustard on his punches, dude. It seemed like he was about to knock Michel out every single punch. It was like, not knock him out, but it looked like every punch hurt him. And then once
Then
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he looked really good in the third. Then Michel did.
Oh, the second was his big round.
Yeah.
The second was like big round, almost 10-8, maybe. Not almost 10-8, but dominated the round for sure. Yeah, I thought it was 1-1. I think it was unanimous, 29-28. And then the third round was actually pretty close. I think Pijeta did a little more, and also had a lot more damage and more significant strikes too. But it was close. I was pretty nervous a little bit about the decision. But Michel Pijeta wins 2-1, unanimous. And then what an interesting fight.
Yeah.
Can we agree best fight of the night? Has to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, this is a tough one. Dude, people are not happy online. As they
See, I wasn't surprised. I thought from what I watched, I thought, yeah, I wasn't surprised.
I was. And you made all good points. And even before the decision was announced, I was like, well, actually, if you do score it round by round, he might have pulled 3 of them off. The whole vibe of the fight for me, though, was frustrating because I bet on Figueiredo. I thought Figueiredo was going to dominate them, honestly. To explain why I thought that, because people online, it was crazy how big of a favorite Moreno was, I thought. Figueiredo, since, I don't know, before his first fight with Joseph Benavidez, just looked unstoppable, untouchable. No one could hang in there with him. Even his first fight with Moreno, he kind of fucked him up, and he lost a point because of an eye poke and ended up being a draw, right? He won the fight, really. And then he has one bad night at the office in Moreno, and then Moreno's a huge favorite all of a sudden. I'm like, dude, we've seen Figueiredo look bad once. Like, he's usually a monster. I couldn't believe I thought he'd be a favorite, honestly. And I expected him to kind of dominate. And what's frustrating for me, and then I want you to give your thoughts, because maybe I was just being hard because I really wanted him to win. It felt like he was way too passive, because when he threw, you mentioned the knockdowns, the leg kicks were a big factor too. When he threw, it seemed to be extremely effective, and it seemed to me like he just didn't do it nearly enough. He was very passive, I thought, and kind of gave time for Moreno to look good and do more and walk forward. And I was like, God damn, like if he just did a little more, I think he'd run away with this thing. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. So I thought he won the rounds that he had to. So like, yeah, just he had big moments in rounds that were more like stalemates. And
Well,
then he
clearly.
had big, yeah. And then, yeah, I think just the takedowns and the knockdowns is why he won. It's hard to say when you have 3 knockdowns, the other guy has 0. Like, you know, your significant punches did more than his little tiny punches.
I agree with that. 100%. I thought he did do more. I just thought he should have thrown way more. Moreno threw over 100 more punches. And I was like, if he just did a little more, we wouldn't even be concerned with who was going to win the fight. I feel like he would have ran away with it. But
let's see what the official cards were.
Yeah, it's got to be 1, 3, and 5. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, but we've been so wrong about that before.
We've been so wrong. Yeah, so wrong.
Moreno.
Like Colby Covington versus Usman too. Yeah. No one gave Colby Covington round 5. I thought that was crazy. Gotta say, I'm impressed with your Googling skills as always. I've never pulled up the official cards before, and you've done it multiple times.
Okay, so they have it as. So one judge gave Davison 1, 3, and 4. Really? The one judge gave Davison 1, 3, and 5. That's what I had it as. That's what I have too. And then the other judge gave Davidson 1, 3, and 4. So 2 judges gave him 3 and 4. Yeah, so did I. I thought he won 5, lost 4, 1, 3. Yeah, I had it 1, 3, 5.
Me too. Well, I didn't have 1, 3, 5. Let me correct.
Which only one judge agreed with us on.
Only one said 1, 3. Yeah. No. Did anyone give Davison round 2? No one, right?
No.
Okay.
Nobody did.
Did everyone give it 3? Everyone gave him 1 and 3, right?
Yeah.
1 and 3 was Davison's, and then so 2 of them, both guys gave it to.
2 gave him 4. 1 gave him
5. That's right. Interesting. I wasn't even sure he won the fight, but I knew. I said it in the text message. I'm like, it was got to be those 3 rounds because 3 was the one he clearly won. Right? He almost got him out of there. He dropped him hard at the end of the round. He locked up the guillotine, and then he ended up switching it to the anaconda before the locked behind the armpit before the bell rang. And I'm like, damn, he almost got him out of there. And then, so he won round 3. 5 was just kind of a fucking a crazy show, right? It was kind of a war. And then 1, not a whole lot happened, but I felt like he just did more. Round 1 was one of those like it's hard to score, but like I thought it won it. So I mean, yeah, when it's scoring it round by round, that's how it goes. But I was probably just being hard on him because I wanted to win so bad. I thought he could have done so much more because I went and read some text threads of group chat and Instagram, and quite a few people were like, before it even happened, they're like, I think Figueiredo probably should have won it. I don't know if he will on the scorecards, but I feel like he should have. And I was like, damn, maybe I would just be fucking hard on him.
Yeah, I thought he won.
Well, he did on everyone's scorecards, including yours. Yeah. I was nervous, but then 1, 3, and 5 does make sense to me. So
yeah.
And then let's talk about this fucking. Who would have fucking thought the main event? Who would have thought Francis Ngannou was going to wrestle Cyril Gane to a victory?
Yeah.
Not I, sir.
I did not. I don't think anybody did.
I don't think Francis did. I don't think this is part of the game.
He was like, this is working out. Yeah.
I would assume. I don't think he said anything about it. But he did say he had a torn MCL before he had a torn MCL coming into the fight. Probably was why he was wearing those knee sleeves. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like, of course, it wasn't part of the game. But what am I talking about? Of course, he's going to hopefully go out there and flatline everybody in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
wrestles him to death.
I bet him by knockout for fun.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I made a joke before the fight to thank Travis. I'm like, is it possible for Francis to win a decision? Like, there's no way. He's going to throw big bombs, and he's either going to knock you out or get tired.
Dude, but every time I saw him throw, I still was like, oh my gosh.
He's a freak.
I know.
He's a freak. But
I was like, how is Gane still just taking it?
Yeah, Gane's tough, and he's but apparently the dude's wrestling defense isn't that good because even the Francis looked pretty good. It's definitely not like his thing. Definitely not even close.
A lot of it, I think, was just strength. He just I
think so.
Picked him up and fucking slammed him, basically.
I don't.
That one time he did.
Oh yeah, that was nuts. The first one where he caught Gane's kick or whatever, that was nuts. But Travis was saying he's just strong, which obviously he is. But I thought some of the stuff he did on the ground looked like the right stuff to do.
That one reversal he got was I was like, oh.
Yeah, and every time
completely flipped.
Yeah, and then when Gane would come up with that underhook, and then he was good at that. I don't know if he fought for the underhook again, but he would cross face and flatten him back out. And I'm not like a grappling expert, but I do this on the regular, and it seemed to me like he was doing the right things. Not like he was just I'm gonna squeeze the shit out of you. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but it seemed like he knew what he was doing there.
Yeah.
But how strange. Then you're led to believe then a decent wrestler could have fucked Gane up.
Yeah.
Then you're led to believe something like that.
What do you think about that knee bar that was going on?
Well, it wasn't knee bar, it was a heel hook, but
oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You get one. Everyone gets one.
Yeah.
I was obviously pretty excited. The outside ones aren't as vicious as the inside ones.
It looked like he had it to me at one point, and I was like,
"Oh God,
here we
go."
go.
I thought he did. Yeah. He wasn't fully secured, but above the knee with his lock, right? You have to be. All right, let's do a heel hook course real quick, and then we can wrap it up. Here's your heel hook course, Alex. You ready?
Yeah.
So you rotate the heel, right? It's either inside or outside. You can do it to yourself without even using your hands. If you're sitting the way you are right now, you can turn your heel either inside, eventually it will stop, or you can turn it outside, eventually it's going to stop. But when you're doing it yourself, even when it stops, your knee is turning with it. Your whole leg's turning, right? The idea of a heel hook is their legs are wrapped around your leg, above your knee line, right? So your knee is secured. And when they're rotating your heel, either inside or outside, your knee isn't moving. Your heel is turning without your knee turning. So it's kind of like a double whammy. Typically your knee would give out first. The ligaments in your knee, and they're different ones, obviously, if it's inside or outside, but those would stretch out because it's getting past the whatever rotating point. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Those typically get stretched out, and it's usually a knee thing first. But even if you have super flexible knees or ligaments or whatever, your foot can only turn so much before it even hurts your foot. But generally, it's a knee thing. But the inside ones are much more vicious. He had an outside one, and he didn't have it locked super good around above the knee line. So Francis was, his whole leg was kind of turning with it, which you can still get, but typically you want that knee not moving. You want that thing secured, and you're just fucking wrapping that foot around, and the knee has nowhere to go. So, but I was like, man, if this was an inverted one, an inside one, he probably would have had it. Obviously, you don't get to choose what's given to you. You kind of just take what's there. And then he has finished that one before. I think it was also an outside one, but he's finished it before in the UFC. Cyril Gane has. But Francis is probably like, this is for the heavyweight championship, dude. Even if my knee is a little uncomfortable, I'm probably not going to tap. But I was excited. It's not very often you see Hill attempt in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough to get the job done, Alex.
No, wasn't.
I'm not mad. I'm mad that I just can't pick a Francis Ngannou fight the right way ever. That's what I'm mad about.
It's a mystery.
Or I just pick him to lose every time. I do the same thing with Kamaru Usman. I don't know why. I must hate Nigerians subconsciously.
Yeah.
I made that fucking mistake, okay? I
Yeah.
won't do it again. I said I wouldn't do it again with Usman. I'm like, I'm never picking against Usman ever again. Every time there was a fight, I'm like, come up with some weird, crazy, like this matchup's the one, right? I've done it every time. We both were guilty of it when he fought Burns.
Yeah.
Both times with Colby, I'm like, Colby's gonna get it done. And then, okay, with Masvidal was a little different because with Masvidal, I did say both times, I think Usman's probably going to clearly win, but I would rather see Masvidal win. But the other times, I actually thought Usman was going to lose. I genuinely thought that. Never again, Alex. Never again am I making that mistake. I'll wait till I'm wrong about him being right. It's like a blind vote.
Mm-hmm.
You just check the box of your party or whatever. That's like an Usman fight from now on. Like, I'm picking Usman. Don't care who he's running against.
Straight down the line.
Yep. Usman straight down the line. That was UFC 270. I think it's pretty good night of fights. We got one really good fight for the flyweight title. The Moreno Figueiredo fight was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
2 first-round finishes, which are obviously always awesome. And then the Francis and Gane fight was the worst fight of the night, really.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other fight? Figueiredo was a good fight. That was a fun fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. The worst fight, and I don't think it was that bad. But the most boring fight was the Francis Gane fight.
Mm-hmm.
So decent night of fights. I think we're off next week, Alex.
Yep.
And then they're in Ohio, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Ohio with Alex. You are Alex. Travis said it, and generally I ignore it. And now I'm looking at it. I think this might be the worst card of all time. Can you pull it up? Let's take a look at it.
It's not great.
I don't think I know any single person on the fight except the main event.
Yeah.
Well, Hakeem Duato, I know the name. That's a bad card.
Mm.
You got it pulled up? Are you looking at this?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not a good card. Hermanson Strickland is really fun.
Yeah.
But you're always going to get a fun main event. So it almost doesn't even count. It's almost like what's around it.
Yeah.
That ain't good, Alex.
Nope.
It's not good for betting because I don't know these people really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you pull up the odds for Strickland and Hermanson before I let you go? I'm going to guess Strickland is a slight favorite. What are you going to guess?
Yeah, I agree. I think Strickland will probably be.
I beat Spider-Man and God of War, Alex.
Wow.
Yeah. Both great games.
So, yes, Strickland is a -205 favorite.
Oh, decent favorite.
Hermanson's +172.
Decent favorite then.
Mm.
I'm in the camp that I think Sean Strickland's actually pretty good.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm in the camp that I think Sean Strickland is actually pretty decent. I'm not decent. I think he's good.
Yeah.
And they say the rumor around this block, the word around the street is that he's really good on the ground and he just chooses to kickbox, that kind of thing. And Hermanson's probably going to try to take him down. So
we'll see.
We'll see what happens. The rest of the card, complete dog shit. But it is in Ohio. I feel like, just driving. They should give you tickets for $20.
Yeah.
For that fucking card. All right, man. Do you got anything else?
Right. Nope.
I can't believe you got rid of your PlayStation, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
God of War and PlayStation. God of War and Spider-Man were lit.
All
so
right.
now I got to play The Last of Us, which I've just started, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Getting all the PlayStation-only games out of the way.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'll let you go, dude.
All right. I got to go. Sorry.
All right. Have fun at work.
Yep.
No, you will. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.